Hey there guys, what's going on? It's Gator right here, back again for another MHA video, and today we're going to be talking about MHA Ultra Impact, the second of the two gacha games to have released on mobile phones. Of course, this is only on JP, so if you want to know how to download it, of course, pretty much easy. Get QApp and VPN. There you go. That's Bob's your uncle, pretty much. But today with me, of course, we have Choco to talk about our first impressions of the game, our thoughts, how it's been built. Is there any improvements that we could see and whatnot? But before we go on into that side of things, Choco, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Mr. Gale of the Rioting?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. But of course, MHA Ultra Impact, of course, released like pretty much 2 hours after Strongest Hero released on the global side. Of course, people have been getting on it. You know, myself, Hydros, we got on day one. Re-rolling infinitely, of course, thanks to its system. But yeah, let's start off with our general impressions. Choco, how have you been finding the game, you know, just off jump? Like, do you think it's good? What are your, if you have any issues with it, what are they? And then we can go into like the segments of the game. How are you finding it, mate?
I think it's a ton of fun so far. I think it's also, it's been incredibly easy to jump in and play without having to know any Japanese. The tutorials are great. And if you've played any other, you know, gacha, they have a lot of symbols and icons, so you can hop in. I watched 0 tutorials and I've been able to understand the potential system, upgrading the gear. The only thing is, of course, translations, like their gear system memories. I do have to rely on the wiki, which Hydros is doing a great job at keeping updated and getting a ton of it out. I believe tonight he said he's going to be able to have a lot out for the memories, but it's really just that you have to bother translating. The rest is like fairly simple, so I will give it a lot of credit for that. It's a very, very easy game to get into, and even the high-end technical stuff, you can still piece it together bit by bit. And gameplay-wise, it's all been a ton of fun. Again, using the wiki, been able to figure out what characters to use. I've been using a double healer counter team, actually triple healing counter team, so it's been a lot of fun doing that. Really looking forward to the all-night farm. But how have you enjoyed the game so far?
I've been really enjoying it. The game is effectively, to me, what Princess Connect is. It's the same game effectively at its core. Very similar vibes in my personal opinion, like in terms of the UI, in terms of how you have to farm stuff.
Ultra Impact.
yeah, definitely. But the UI, the potential system, the memories, the shops, the farming, the events as well, quote unquote, because the funny thing is, right now on MHA Ultra Impact, they have this special event where you're getting double drops and double XP on the chapter stages, the story mode. So you can farm the materials you need to unlock the panels of these units quite easily. Similarly, Princess Connect has a very similar thing as well, where you can pretty much do the same, where, you know, there's a certain period, there's a 7-day period, you get double drops, double mana, and you farm then. So again, the game itself at its core, it's very, very similar pity as well. Of course, 30 multis gives you a guaranteed unit, which is thumbs up from my end. Overall, I've been really enjoying it. It appeals to me as a casual player. You know, I talk about gachas a lot in the podcasts, any other videos we've done and whatnot. And you guys know me, I love my casual gachas. So for me, Ultra Impact is definitely the much better game compared to Strongest Hero. To me, again, it just comes down to preference and style. And yeah, like Choco said, it's very easy to get into, especially the re-rolling aspect of it. Of course, it has an infinite re-roll system, so all you need to do is pretty much get into the game. Once you get to the first multi, instead of pressing OK, you press the other button, and you can just keep summoning again and again until you get the units you want. And of course, you can get like 6 URs or you could get 0 URs, right? So it's just a matter of just keep going until you get the re-roll you want. But let's get into the more nitty-gritty details of the game. Of course, let's start off with just the gameplay itself. Of course, a very simple turn-based RPG kind of game, where if you just click turn start, they can do auto attacks, and then sometimes you have to intervene if you're not obviously playing the game on auto. You can pretty much select when to use their skills. You can use your friend as a support for a extra plus ultra attack, and of course you can activate your own units plus ultra attack when you want. So Choco, how are you finding the gameplay side of things? I don't know if you've obviously turned it off auto yet. I've been personally just using auto for the most part because it's just making life a little bit easier. Of course, once I get into the more difficult stages of the USJ and VE tower, which we'll come on to in just a second when we talk about game modes. But yeah, how are you finding the gameplay side of things?
I use auto mode most of the time. If it's like
Yeah.
a single person fight, I will go in with my friend and just nuke it with one attack. But real quick, before we do get too far into it, one thing that I know we're going to get comments about is how do I play the game? Can't get on. It's blocking me out. You do need a VPN. So I just want to take a quick second to give not a recommendation. So Tomato VPN, it's over on the Android App Store. It's what I'm personally using. It is a completely free VPN. All you have to do is watch an ad and you get like an hour to 2 hours of free time. Every time it runs out, watch another ad for another free hour. So Tomato VPN, again, it's a free VPN. So they could be doing shady stuff, selling data. I don't know if it is. We're not endorsing it here, but I know we're going to get comments about it. And personally, it's what I'm using. It's free. It works. But there are risks associated with every, free VPN if you don't want to, give like $25 a month for, a higher end one or anything like that. But yeah, getting back to the gameplay, I just want to, get that before we get a ton of comments. Gameplay is actually a ton of fun. I do like the 3v3 for the most part. Is there any fights that have 4 enemies on the field?
No, I've never seen.
I think it's only for 3.
It's 3. Yep.
Yeah, I do like how auto mode is like pretty decent. Sometimes it will use all 3 of my healing abilities like turn 1.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But the game is simple enough that auto mode can't really mess up too bad usually. So that is good. But yeah, the only issue I have with auto mode is it won't use your friend ability.
Yes, it doesn't
Why?
use the plus
Just
ultra.
nuke the friend, please. That's a level 90 Bakugo, dude. You can nuke anything. Auto mode, I beg of you. Please, an entire turn you could save.
I cannot disagree with you on that one for sure. But let's get into the game mode side of thing. Of course, the game has just come out, so there's no particular big events. But there are some game modes that are very interesting, which I'm extremely happy that there are. Of course, you have the normal story mode, which goes all the way until Overhaul, surprisingly. The beta only went until Stain, of course. But this goes all the way till Overhaul, which makes me a bit concerned considering, whenever games usually come out, they don't add all of the story in one shot, especially if they are a anime like they're basing it on the actual anime and not like say Legends or something where it's based off. It's not even based off anything. It's just their own news story. So it makes me a bit concerned. We obviously have the resources stage where if you don't spend, by the way, and you only do it 3 times a day, you can get extra XP items, memory XP items, and coins. But of course, if you do spend, I think it's $7 or so, you can upgrade that to 7 times a day or something like that, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Choco. For 7 days.
Yes.
7 days, you can do 7 times each stage, basically. So
no, 6 times.
Okay,
for
6
7
times.
days, I think.
6 times for 7 days, sorry. So 6 times for 7 days, so you're basically getting an extra 3 tries per effective XP stage and coin stage. Then we have the USJ. Now, USJ is basically like a area where you can fight against a boss, and it's a single boss, by the way. They have like 150k plus HP at level 1, then level 2 it's like 330k plus, and then level 3 is more HP, and so on and so forth. They also become stronger, and effectively you're doing these fights to get coins, and these coins can be exchanged in for certain SR units. There's a UR memory as well available, so that's a kind of a cool difficult mode where you're kind of trying to farm up currency in that as well to be able to buy like UR memories and stuff. So thumbs up on that from my end personally. And then of course finally we have the VE tower, which is basically battlefield from Dokkan in this game effectively. So you're going up against the tower, and you're going up against a certain group of enemies and bosses, and you can only take a team once per battle, so you have to keep changing it from there on out, which to me is kind of cool. It's kind of hard to do early game unless you literally summoned and got all the URs and SRs to like build off of. But even then, of course, leveling them up to be able to fight these bosses is going to be obviously a time-consuming effort. But yeah, I'm really appreciative of all these game modes, and of course, we're getting a new event with All Might as a free-to-play character, of course, a farmable character tomorrow. Of course, it's I think the Class 1A training session, and of course, we're getting a new Air Force Deku as well as an SR Froppy, which is kind of cool. But yeah, Choco, what do you think about the game modes? The possibilities of them doing a monthly event like we're getting tomorrow. And yeah, how are you finding the game modes itself?
Okay, so I unlocked the USJ thing. I went in and never kicked my ass, and I haven't done it since. And the tower thing, I don't even know what you're talking about. I think you have to beat chapter 517,
Yes.
I think it was.
Yes.
I'm on 4.
Yeah.
All I've been doing is just as soon as I unlock a stage to get the next upgrade to my character, that's all I've been doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like 92, 93 right now in chapter 4. So I'm blitzing through it, but every time I can get a new material to upgrade my character, one of my 5 main characters, I'm doing that. So I'm out of stamina right now. And I can't refresh anymore. I've refreshed maximum today. But yeah, eventually later today, I will finish the story probably.
Well, yeah, no, the main
Maybe,
thing, the main thing with the USJ is that, of course, it's type based, right? So you have to specifically, like, if there's a red enemy you're facing, you want to take the blue units, right? And so on and so forth. You want to go with type advantage, right? The problem is, again, like I said, same thing with the VE tower, is that you need to have a lot of units to be able to do those stages in particular. So it can be a bit of a struggle for starting players, but I think obviously it's not supposed to be early game content whatsoever, or even mid game content. It's somewhat of an end game content, especially the higher levels and whatnot. So definitely something to look forward to down the line, especially more than anything else. I'm very, very happy with that. Let's talk about the summoning side of things, Choco. Of course, you and I probably haven't summoned as much. Of course, you know, we're saving up our gems, but the beauty about this game is... Okay, you've been summoning. Never mind, look at this dude.
I've been summoning a bit, but most of my gems go to stamina refresh.
Yeah. So effectively, the summoning system is made in such a way where it's a single's 50 gems, 500 gems for a multi. You get one free single on any banner of your choice, one every day, basically every time you log in. And there is a pity at 300 singles or 30 multis, which is cool to me personally. And also something to note, and we haven't been able to see it just yet, we'll obviously find out when more and more banners come out, is that some banners will carry forward their pity. So if you didn't get a unit in one banner, you're probably going to be fine, because it'll probably carry over to the next banner. Again, we still need to see how it applies and which banners it applies to. But yeah, Choco, how do you find the summoning system just generally from the looks of things? Of course, the rates are 2% for the main units, 2% for the memories. But yeah, how are you finding that?
The rates are pretty bad, but we only have like 8 URs in the game, so I hope that once they add more, the rate will eventually go to somewhere to 5 to 7%. Hopefully, you know, maybe for, you know, 5% memory, 5% for the characters, kind of like Dokkan with featured and unfeatured type thing.
Yeah,
that's what I'd want it to go to. The summoning animations as well. The only thing that I can tell that's good is when they're Deku and Bakugo are just wearing their like actual combat outfits. Everything else seems to be a shaft from what I've seen.
Yeah.
UA might give a UR. I'm not sure. Like their UA outfits, but yeah. If they're not wearing their combat outfits, well, unfortunate. You just got a Hercule on the right side and a multi.
Well, there is also other tells as well in the animation. We do have obviously All Might when he makes his appearance, when he's pointing at Deku, and then
can?
Yeah, when he's pointing at Deku, and there's one more as well. I think the first time he meets Deku or something, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, actually. I don't remember. But there's 2 All Mights that appear, and then there's obviously one more moment where once they clash and there's rainbow smoke instead of the just plain smoke, that means you're getting a UR as well. So there's a couple of tells so far as we can see, which is good. But I do agree, like, for the most part, most of the animations do seem like a shaft outside of the hero outfits for sure. But yeah, I think that's all in terms of the game side of things. I mean, there's some other stuff, like I think the dorm stuff is kind of cool. We get free stamina and items from there. It's easy to do. You just place the characters and you start farming it. There's the shop, of course, where you can use coins and stuff to like buy like items to and materials to upgrade your characters as well. And overall, it seems like a well-made game. I mean, it's still in its early days. I think, of course, it does seem very Princess Connect-esque to me personally, in terms of like the dorms, the shop, the events coming up, and whatnot. It just gives me those kind of vibes. But yeah, how you find your final thoughts, Choco? How do you find the game?
I think it's great. Definitely has a lot of potential. I'm looking forward to see what it has over the next couple months in terms of events and how free-to-play friendly it continues to be. Seems like it'll be on par with like probably better than Dokkan, but not by much down the line. I hope that the training stage, like for the whatever bars of protein, let's call them protein crackers, right? Those things, right? I hope eventually the natural limit is just made 10, or one day it's just removed and it costs 20 stamina instead or something, like they're gating progression, which I get because it's a new gacha. They gotta, for some reason they have to, because they don't want people to blow through content too fast. But I hope by half year they just let new players get to endgame in a week if they choose to, rather than having to gate it to. But it's, I mean, that's how Dokkan and Legends and Grand Cross have done it as well. As time goes on, it's way easier to catch up to the end game. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, 100% agree. But yeah, let us know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think, of course, of the Ultra Impact game. If you've been playing it, like Choco said, of course, you need a VPN to download it. And of course, if you, you're on iOS, you change your store to JP. And of course, if you're on Android, Q app is your best friend. So yeah, again, yeah, let us know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of the game. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more content. And yeah, Choco and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, everybody.